Happy Wednesday, John. So thanks for bringing this topic up, because I think it's going to be some really good, interesting discussion. I'm going to start this off with, first and foremost, that I do not personally think that Minarchy is a good system. But I do want you to know that I understand your reasoning behind kind of liking the core logical things that you're thinking about right now, probably thinking about right now, I'm assuming. I'd like to propose a few scenarios, but first, I think there's one really big important point that we need to bring up. So, all of this is not happening in a vacuum. To get from our current system to the system of Minarchy, you need to do something, right? In this situation, I think the best way that Minarchy could possibly function is if everyone started at exactly the same level and had exactly the same things and exactly the same everything. Obviously, that's not possible, even theoretically, really. So there's lots of problems there. But getting to that hypothetical state wouldn't even be in the realm of reality. So let's say, for argument's sake, that we're coming from a system like the United States, and we're transitioning to Minarchy, and we don't redistribute wealth. Okay, so now, not everyone has the same amount of stuff, right? Obviously, our money is different, because whether you believe that in the minarchist government, or in whatever other form you want, the government doesn't run the money, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, that everything was run by private banks, right? So generally speaking, I think you're going to find that the people who had money in the previous system, relative to those who didn't have as much money, will still have more of whatever the new system is, whether that be money or just a general idea of wealth, right? Even if you don't have a necessarily monetary exchange, right? People who know each other, who run banks currently, who have a lot of clients who are very rich and well-off and run industries, are still going to remain friends even if the system changes, right? If they were in a position to, say, pick which bank they were going to invest in with all of their industry money, they would go with the one that their friend is doing, probably because they're going to get a better rate from him because he's their friend and the guy trusts them and all that kind of stuff, right? So even if you don't have a direct, say, one-for-one exchange, government money to new private money, you're still going to have a similar issue with essentially, people liking other people and giving them benefits for being friends with them, which is a problem even in our system right now. So now think about what happens next. Let's propose that you are a skilled chair maker. You make chairs, but you don't have a lot of money and you want to continue to make chairs. If you have friends who have money to buy those chairs, you can keep making the chairs because your friends will just keep buying the chairs that you're making, right? But eventually they're going to run out of the need for more chairs and they're going to stop buying them. Now, while this is working, you can take your money and you can buy your food and your house and your whatever else you need, right? You can pay your taxes to your minarchist government. So now let's say that you've sold chairs to everyone that you personally know. And because, remember, nothing happens in a vacuum, someone a long time ago spread a rumor around that people who are white, like yourself, make really bad chairs. And that white people are basically just out to steal your money. Because of this rumor, once you've sold chairs to everyone you know personally, no one wants to buy your chairs. Because they think that you're just going to steal from them. And you didn't do anything to earn that reputation, right? And you made great chairs. Nobody's arguing that your chairs are bad. But, generally speaking, you're untrustworthy. So now, all of a sudden, you don't have any money. And you need to buy food. And you need to pay your mortgage. So your choices now are either to go hungry and lose your house, or to go find a job that isn't making chairs, that isn't what you want to do. Which is, fine. That kind of stuff happens, right? Except for in the system, if everyone thinks that you're untrustworthy, the most jobs you're going to get are going to be jobs that nobody else wants. So now you're stuck doing bad jobs or dangerous jobs or things that people don't want to do. And what's your recourse for this? You don't have one. In Minarchy, no contracts were violated, no one was physically harmed or even forced to do anything, and the person who started the rumor may not even be alive anymore. May have been a long time ago, and it was well before the system was put in place, so it has no effect, right? So now you're left with doing a job that you don't want and don't like doing, and maybe can't even get in the first place because of something that somebody else did a really long time ago that had nothing to do with you. So, as you're probably aware, Minarchy were to become a thing, you are probably not the one who would be discriminated against, but I'm making this point to give you some perspective on some of your many personal privileges that allow you to think about these things in a different way and realize that maybe it doesn't work the same for everybody.